Yeah, I was getting exactly John Stockton's. I was a distributor. That's what I did. Okay. I was a distributor of the ball. And I was damn good at it. Jen, thank you so much for becoming a subscriber. I really appreciate that. As you can see, I'm trying to play catch up over here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ari. Okay, I don't know if you guys are familiar with her, but I need to catch her. Okay. I think y'all should have to pay royalties for every penny you make using his name. Man, simping for billionaires just runs rampant, doesn't it? Simping for billionaires just runs rampant in MAGA culture. Wow. I think you guys should have to pay my daddy Trump more money. He's already stealing money from me, and I want him to take money from you too. Bro, he doesn't care about you. Okay, he doesn't care about you. He doesn't even like you. You're a poor. Okay, you're a poor. Sorry, Corey. I thought that was supposed to start a long time ago, and my stream key wasn't working. Yeah, you're a poor. He does not care about you. Okay, if you don't exist, all right, he won't even notice. All right, you don't need to simp for him. Okay, there's only one group of people that Donald Trump cares about, and that's all of his rich billionaire buddies. Okay, that hang out with him and are members of it at Mar-a-Lago. Okay, so you can stop simping for him whenever. All right. Like truly, even if you like the guy, like you're just being weird. Like just yeah. He don't even like his own kids, all right? He ain't gonna adopt you. All right. He doesn't even like his own kids. Well, except for Ivanka, but he likes her for a reason that, you know, that's a whole other thing, you know. He likes her a little bit too much. All right. He took all of the love that he was supposed to have for Eric and Don Jr. and he put that a little extra into Ivanka. Okay. just saying. All right. He likes Ivanka a lot. He likes Ivanka a lot. Yeah. He likes her. I have sex in common with my daughter a lot, which is just bizarre. Barron doesn't like him. I don't think Barron does like him. And I think the reason why Barron doesn't like him is because Barron likes his mom and his mom don't like him. I'm pretty sure. Like if I was to guess, it's because Barron likes his mom and Melania can't stand his ass, bro. She can't stand his ass, bro. I'm telling you. Okay. I'm telling you, she does not like him at all. All right. Oh my goodness. Show the receipts of a Melania not liking Trump. I give you her face. I give you her face. Every time she looks at him, or every single time he tries to touch her, just her face at any point in time, just that. I can't even like. I can't even emulate her face. It's just like because she has that like She has that I don't even that Eastern European like hate. You know what I'm saying? Like that look on her face is just like I've been through way too much shit in my life to do. I mean, because y'all have all gotten there in your lives, right? Like as you've gotten older, right? Like as you get older, you know, like you just stop like dealing with bullshit from people as much, right? Like you just stop dealing with bullshit from people as much as you used to. And like she's like, look, I get it. Like he was rich and I was hot and like, you know, I did what I had to do and I get it, but like I'm over it. Like he what's he gonna do? Divorce me? He ain't gonna divorce me. She knows all the secrets. She knows all the secrets. He ain't leaving. She ain't leaving. You know what I'm saying? She's just gonna get paid by him until she dies or he dies. She thought he'd be dead by now. She probably did. She's like, the way this dude's living his life, ain't no way he's gonna make it to 80. And then he just keeps on living. He just keeps on going. he just he just keeps on going, and she's like, man, I thought I had paid my dues. I don't know. But would be the most, dude. I would love to see the divorce court like live streamed for if Melania left Trump. Oh, that'd be so great. Oh, that'd be so great. That's that it'd be the best trial ever. It would put OJ to shame. It'd put OJ to shame. That'd be much must watch television. So, oh yes, KW. They don't like the First Amendment unless it's glazing their little daddy Trump. They only like the First Amendment when it's glazing their little orange Jesus. But the second that anybody talks anything that they disagree with, they don't like it anymore. So you just kind of get used to it after a while. You just get more you get used to it after a while. Anyways, y'all, we're about to open up these phone lines. So if you support Trump, you voted for Trump, and you support Trump, oh, we're gonna go ahead and call that number right above my head, and you can talk with me. And yeah, we'll get this thing going, start having some conversations, having some debates, having some banter, having some of all the fun stuff. All the fun stuff. The stuff we come here for, right? Or at least y'all come here for. You know, y'all don't want to sit here and let me listen to me talk about Melania all night, though it is funny. Y'all don't want to sit here and listen to me talk to Melania all night. Talk about Melania all night. So we're about to open up these phone lines, get these debates, this banter, this conversation going. Again, if you'd like to join the conversation with me, there's two ways to do it. If you're on the TikTok side, you can hit the multi-guest request button. I will let you know if you're on if you're on the TikTok guest request button. If you're one of like those 12 just right-wing dudes that jump to everybody's live, I will not bring you up. Okay? You talk on everyone else's live. This is not your space. But if you do truly support Trump and you're not one of those people, then I'll bring you up. We can have a conversation and all that fun stuff. Okay? And again, if you're on TikTok and you'd like to call, you're more than welcome to do that. If you're on YouTube and you'd like to call the number above my head, you're more than welcome to do that also. All right, I guess it's time to get the headset on and get this thing going. If you guys would like to support, there's two great ways to do that. One, I have super chats open on YouTube. And if you donate to the super chats, then I will put them up on the screen and we'll talk about them. We'll have full conversations about them. Well, I mean, depending on how in-depth the thing is. If he just says hi, I guess we won't have a full conversation about that. But we'll put it on the screen. The best way you can support on TikTok right now is either through my live gifting goal, but even more importantly, through my sub goal that I have right here on the screen. And that sub goal is for one reason and one reason only, and that's to catch Ari. Because she's beating me and I don't like that. So those are great ways to support. As always, my pay links are in my bio and my link tree. If you'd like to support, that's also a great way to support. So I really appreciate you guys. All right, phone lines are open. And we'll get this thing moving. Since I'm already seeing a bunch of calls coming in. Oh, we'll see if they stop now that I actually open up the phone lines. Sometimes that happens. You joined to banter. This should be fun. It is fun. We have a lot of fun. Uh-oh. Is it not ringing again? Oh, there it goes. Hello, how are you?
This call is being recorded.
All right. That was weird. Did I call? I think that guy was trying to reach me about my car's extended warranty. Every time I feel bad for. You think that was a prison call? It could have been. Hello, how are you? Okay, goodbye. That's all right. We'll get somebody calling in here that supports Trump. I know that Trump supporters are a little scared lately. They're a little few and far between. I understand that with all the things that Trump's doing, that they probably don't want to represent him. But hey, you know. Hello? Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Say again?
Do you support Trump?
No, but I was calling to just say one thing, if that's okay.
Make it really quick because I'm looking for Trump supporters right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to make a quick comment. I don't know why every Trump supporter comes in, makes the same argument, which is, why don't people stand in line? And they sound so ignorant every time they say that. I just wanted them to hear it from me. That's all I'm calling. Literally every time. I want to know where this line is. I looked for it, checked Google Maps, checked everything.
All of these immigrants need to wait their turn. Well, the immigrants that did wait their term are waiting at their court hearing, and Donald Trump is ripping them out of line.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness, they need to wait their turn.
No reading comprehension, no listening comprehension. It is exhausting. And also, thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. You have a good one, right?
Take care, dude.
All right, we're gonna keep this thing moving. Who are you? Well, I can usually tell if it's somebody that I shouldn't be talking to as soon as the TikTok chat lets me know. Oh, hello.
Hey.
How old are you? I'm sorry. What was that?
4 years young.
I cannot hear you, sir.
64 years young.
Okay, sorry, man. I can't hear you. It sounds like you're trying to yell at the phone from another room.
Really?
Yeah, like you're so low right now.
All right. Well, thanks. Have a great day.
I think you too. I think that's what you said. That was a sorry. That was could y'all hear that guy? I couldn't hear him. What the hell? I think he said he was 4. Maybe, I'm not sure. Hello, how are you? Goodbye. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How about you, sir?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
Hold on, just a let me cut my other phone off, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. Now, you're talking about Trump supporters. I support Trump.
Awesome. How old are you, sir?
65.
Awesome. All right. And you say you support Trump. So what's up? What's your one thing? Go ahead.
Well, okay, the illegal immigration. Now, what I look at is like this. Now, we had a semi-controlled border when we had Trump. When Kamala and Biden come back in, it seems like the border went to hell. And they're saying we had 17 to 20 million immigrants come in here illegally. Now, mind you, if they did like they said, Venezuela, Mexico, Brazil, who all down through there, they emptied their jails out. And we don't know who all came in here as far as terrorists or anything else. I want to see them go. The other thing is DACA. There's children that have been born here and raised here all their lives, 10, 15, 20 years old. And their parents never approached citizenship. The way I feel about it is there needs to be a line drawn in the sand. And I would like for President Trump, Tom Homan, and all of them to address this. Draw it at 4 years back. If they came into this country illegally, they have a record, deport them. If they can take and vet them so that they're no threat, give them an honest chance to work their way through to citizenship. And I mean, I don't mean, like we've had some people been here 20, 30 years, and they got kids, here, American parent and Hispanic or Hispanic mother. And I think that they should be given the first priority. Get them taken care of. And
Okay,
start vetting.
Oh, sorry.
Start
Go ahead.
vetting the others. And start vetting the others. I mean, it's going to be a long, drawn-out process.
All right. Well, let me address a few things that you said there. One, nobody is saying that 17 to 20 million undocumented immigrants are now in this country. Literally, no one is saying that unless you watch some crazy Fox News thing. And even if you read the fine print on the Fox News thing, it says that there's about 20 million encounters, which again isn't accurate. But again, those aren't undocumented immigrants that are living in the country. That's just the number of encounters that happen at the southern border, whether they were let in, whether they were deported, whether they were turned away. Joe Biden deported more immigrants in his presidency than Donald Trump did. And that is because all of the people that were turned away at the border after those encounters. All right. The estimated number of undocumented immigrants that is in the country right now is about 11.6 million. And that's up about 1.7 million from the Trump's administration, which again was up about 800, 900,000 under his administration, right? So we saw, close to 1 million people come in, under the Trump administration undocumented, and we saw approximately 1.5 million or just over 1.5 million come in under the Biden administration. All right. So when we're talking about these 20, 25, 30, whatever, I've heard up to 50 million undocumented immigrants that have come to the country. This is just completely not right. Right. What you saw was a lot of border encounters. You saw a lot of border encounters because you saw a lot of asylum seeking. And you saw a lot of asylum seeking because people were running for refuge. Right. So that's not abnormal. So I'm sorry, that is abnormal. That is an abnormal amount of people that were showing up, at the border for asylum seeking, but that's not a number of undocumented immigrants that are actually in the country. All right, so let's make that clear first of all. Second of all, that's what Biden was doing when you're talking about DACA recipients, when you're talking about people who have lived their entire lives here, when they were brought over here as kids, who know nothing else but this country, right? That is what the Biden administration was trying to do. Well, currently right now, Donald Trump is trying to sue the courts to not only get rid of people that were, maybe brought here when they were small kids and then left here their entire life. They know nothing but this, but he's also trying to get rid of
nothing but
yeah. But he's also trying to get rid of kids that were born here, right? Because he's tried to sue to make birthright citizenship illegal, right? So even kids that were born in this country and know nothing but this country, including and kids who were brought here early in life and know nothing but here, have been here 20 years, he's trying to get rid of all of them. He's trying to get rid of people that are doing things the right way. He is trying to get rid of people that came here legally. He is trying to get rid of all types of brown people that just showed up in this country. And it's just the way that it is. All right. So when we talk about the things that you're talking about, when we want, Border Patrol to be able to do their job, when we want to, make sure that we have, keep undocumented migrants out, when you want to make sure that people like DACA have the ability to stay here, right? Those are all things that was in the border bill under the Biden administration that Donald Trump blocked, right? That's what's called comprehensive immigration reform. Those are the things that the Democrats were pushing for, all of the things that you're saying. Nobody on the left is saying that we need to have an open border, nor have we ever had one.
Yeah. I'd like to see them find a compromise on that because, I've probably got friends that are, illegal immigrants, and they have children here and everything. I was talking to a lady today, and her husband is an illegal immigrant. They've got children together. One of them's 15 years old, and that's one disagreement that I have with this ICE roundup and everything. If they've been here, they should by their honor in the system. They should be vetted right there.
Sir, everybody who is here legally was vetted right there. And again, when we talk, what you're talking about is people that are already here, right? You're asking for that compromise, but the compromise already existed. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, sir. Under the Biden administration, they had the Senator Lankford bill, like Senator Lankford being a Republican, who led the bill that had a team of one independent and one Democrat who made a comprehensive immigration bill, right? We had the compromise. All right. It was on the Senate floor. It had 98% support from the Senate because, again, it was a compromise. And Donald Trump called down to the Senate and told them not to pass the bill, and they all listened. Right. So that bill that you're looking for with the compromise, those people that have been here to be able to stay here while also having a strong border, we had that compromise, but we don't. It's not legislation right now because of Donald Trump.
They need to reissue it then.
They won't reissue it because, again, that was the chance for the compromise. Now Republicans own both houses of Congress and they own the legislation. So instead of making a compromise, they're just going to kick everyone out they don't like. The compromise was going to happen under the Biden administration. Now we're at a spot where there is no room for compromise because the Republicans don't have to compromise with anyone.
That's one thing that I would disagree on, right there.
You disagree with what I'm saying, or you disagree with what they're doing?
No, I'm not. I'm not disagreeing with you at all on that.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I mean,
so.
we may have our different affiliations. I used to be Democrat. I'm more conservative, but there's always ground, and this is what, you know. I'll post something about Trump, and I catch a lot of hate from friends, old schoolmates, and teachers and everything. They call me racist and everything, and I'm the furthest thing from it. But there's always room for debate, whether you're Democrat, Republican, you know, conservative, whatever, you know, in the middle. And you know, that's what this is about. I mean, you and I are sitting here, we're back and forth, and we're not arguing, we're not yelling, we're discussing. And that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be anybody calling anybody names or anything. We should have an open forum to have an open debate.
That's the one thing I'll agree with you on, sir. I believe that we should have open debate. I wish I got to have more open debate like you from somebody who wants to come up and have open debate instead of somebody who's just, you know, screaming and yelling at me, which is what happens most of the time, to be honest with you. Okay, I of course match energy with whatever type of debate that we need to have. But I enjoy having these types of conversations. This is why it's so difficult for me to sit here and talk about what, you know, the Republican Party should do, because the Republican Party just passed a bill all by themselves that is widely unpopular in this nation, right? It is it is overwhelmingly unpopular, and it overwhelmingly hurts people that need help the most. And the Republicans are passing that bill just because they can. They are literally taking money away from the people who are most vulnerable, doing horrible things to people like DACA, right? And they're doing it without any debate. They're doing it even though a bunch of Republicans don't like them. Don't like these things. Donald Trump has such control.
They need to be opening the debate up. You should not pass a bill without extensive debate. I mean, that, you know, the freedom of speech, like you and I share. And I'm not going to cower to anybody. My belief is, this is the way I feel about it. The American people. All these people in there are career politicians, every one of them. The first thing I think they should be done, I think they should all be audited. Go through and look at what they're making a year. And this includes Democrats and Republicans. You know, if their worth is, you know, I mean, do stock trades and stuff like that, that's fine. Don't do insider trading. And don't take bribes. I mean, that's where a lot of our money went. But go in there and audit them. If they're worth $200 or $300 million on $200,000 a year and everything, you know, something's wrong. You and I both know that. And the American people should rise up and say, "You're all fired. Go home. We'll hold free elections to get some new blood in here. Limit them to 2 terms, like the president, to keep new blood flowing."
Well, I agree with some of the things that you said. I agree. Well, I will say I agree with all the things you said. I don't think some of them are completely logical, but I completely agree with the term limits on our senators and on our representatives. Definitely, probably 2 years on the Senate, probably more on your House of Representatives, considering they're only 2-year terms, right? So probably more than 2 on that, but that's okay, right? But the problem is that our entire system is set up to be bribed. And that's the issue, right? Yeah. It's not just like the insider trading, and like, I'm not saying that that's a good thing. Of course, it's a bad thing, but that's not even the big problem, right? The problem is that our system is set up for bribes to happen, right? We literally had evidence of Donald Trump coming out and literally openly bribing the fossil fuel industry, right? Bribing them, saying, "Hey, if you donate this amount of money to my campaign, then I will make sure that the policies that I pass benefit you financially." And now we're watching in his big, beautiful bill as he cuts clean energy credits after they donated to him, right? It's open bribery, right? But because our campaigns are so expensive, because they're allowed to last as long as they do, because there's so many loopholes on how we can fund campaigns and all sort of stuff, because of all of those different things, the system has literally set itself up to be open for bribery, right?
Set
And that's
itself
the
up
big
to
issue.
fail. Yes, I will agree with you on that.
So the first thing we have to do is get rid of the money in politics, get rid of these long campaigns, get rid of these super PACs, get rid of all of these different things, right? That are just feeding money into politics, making it where the rich people in this country are able to control elections just by who they're willing to donate, right? I would like personally, I would like to say, right off the bat, hey, your presidential campaign can't last more than 4 months. Or 6 months, whatever arbitrary number you guys want to put in there, right? You can only run for this amount of time, and you cannot campaign. You cannot get $1 for campaigning. You cannot do any of those things until within 6 months of the election, right? And I think that would be a great start, right? To not have this money that's just barreling. Shut down super PACs, shut down some of these crazy things, right? Make people actually run grassroots campaigns, right? Like you can say whatever the hell you want to about Zohran Mamdani, right, up in New York, but he ran a grassroots campaign. Like Andrew Cuomo had the big money backers of New York, and he walked in the door with nothing, ran a grassroots campaign, and won. And there's something to be said about that, right? Because that means that New Yorkers truly wanted him, or at least, New York, Democratic primary voters wanted him in that spot. And I think that's something that can't be discounted.
True. But I think that instead of the left and the right fighting, they better be coming to the middle, because it's going to tear. My observation is, if it doesn't stop, it's going to tear this country apart, and I don't want that.
Well, see, that's where I'm going to disagree with you, sir. I don't believe that we should go to the middle at all, because I don't know where the middle is, and I don't know where the humanity lies in that middle, right? So where's the middle between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party on immigration? Well, I'll tell you where the middle ground is. It's what Democrats already wanted. The thing that you're saying as a middle grounder, right, is what the Democrats already proposed. That's what they wanted. The right wing is the one that's going outside of that. Not there's no in between on that. The in between, the middle ground, was what the Democrats already wanted.
I agree with you entirely on that. They should not have changed the bill on dock or anything like that. Anybody, like I said, these children have been here all their lives, and they should not be penalized for that.
Right, but I can go even further on that, sir. What's the middle ground between in economic policy between the left and the right? You know what I'm saying? Like 10 of the last 11 receptions in the United States have been under Republicans.
I can't really say where the middle ground is, but make them get in there and just literally sit down and hash it out until both sides are happy. Where the middle ground is where they both meet. It may have to be that the right has to give more or the left has to give more on certain situations, but they have got to find the middle ground. I can't give them the middle ground. You can't give them the middle ground. They've got to get their asses in there and talk, and get something that's mutually acceptable for both sides.
But that's the thing that is so concerning, sir. And like truly, this is the big problem, right? Is that under the Biden administration, under most administrations, almost every administration outside of Trump's in the history of the United States, people have gotten in the room and had those conversations. Donald Trump is not allowing those conversations, right? When anybody speaks out against anything that he wants, he just says he's going to primary them and make sure they never win an election again. Right? Like that's what happened with this big beautiful bill where he was where somebody was like, "Hey, I can't even, this is ridiculous. It hurts my constituents." And they were like, "We will promise you, we will primary the hell out of you. You will never win an election again. We will put someone in here that makes sure that you do not win." Right? He is smashing all dissent from him. He's not willing to have that conversation. He doesn't want that conversation. He wants to have an authoritarian rule over things, and whatever he says goes, right? And that's the entire problem. Like, yes, I'm 100% for the Democrats and the Republicans, the left, the right, and I mean as far left as you can get and as far right as you can get, and putting them in a room together and finding the right solution that helps the people of the United States. I'm okay with that. Okay, but the problem is that the right isn't even allowed right now to have the conversations with the right. Because if the right has a bill and someone on the right is like, hey, I don't really like this, then Donald Trump just threatens them and has them kicked out.
Yeah.
So this is what happens when you have someone like Donald Trump in the office, sir. Like I said, this is not an attack on conservatism as a whole, even though I do have major problems with conservatism, right? It's not an attack on conservatism as a whole, right? Like there are some very good conservatives that have ran that are currently are existent in existence right now, right? But when they try to do the right thing, they're shut down by this president. Trump is the problem.
Yeah. All I know is things are gonna have to change one way or the other, and where it begins is where it's got to begin. And I got a feeling that a lot more voices are going to have to be heard than just mine.
Well, that's why I do this every day, sir, so we can get voices out there, right?
Yes, sir.
There you go. All right, sir. I'm going to move on to the next caller, but I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. All right.
I appreciate you, sir.
All right. Have a wonderful day. All right. Bye.
Yes, sir. Bye. Bye.
All right, Joe. Well, that was a great. You know what? If that's the way my live starts today, I'm not mad about that. If that's the way my live starts today, I'm not mad about that. That could be worse. All right. I appreciate that conversation. That was a nice conversation. All right. We're going to keep this thing going. Yeah, let's get some W's in the chat for the guest. He was a very nice guy. Let's keep this thing going. Again, if you support Trump, you can call the number that's right above my head. That's how you get on the conversation or the call, just like that last gentleman was. If you'd like to support, again, if you're on YouTube, I do have the super chats open. If you send super chats, I take them, I put them on the screen, we talk about them. Like this person. Oh no, that's not funny. Usually I find a funny one I put up on the screen so I can show you, but super chats I usually put up on the screen. Like this. He said he was still a bad option, but I mean to be TBF, look at the other option. See, that's a bad argument. That's not even a good argument. But see, if you send a super chat, I'll put it up on the screen. We'll talk about it. We'll have a conversation about it. And it's really, really fun that way. And it's a great way to support. So I really appreciate you guys. If you guys are on the TikTok side, I do have the little rose bears going. And even more importantly, I'm trying to catch up to Ari on subscriptions because that doesn't seem fair that she's that far ahead of me. So if you guys would like to support, I really appreciate either of those two ways. Also, of course, I do have my pay links in my bio that are in my link tree in both of my profiles. So I really appreciate that also. Thank you guys so much. All right, phone lines are back open, and make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys are hitting follow, subscribe, doing all the fun stuff. We do this every day but Thursday, so I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
You're retarded.
All right. Hello? Hello?
Oh, hey, what's up?
Hi, how old are you?
38?
Are you sure?
Yeah, what type of question is that?
Because you have to be of a certain age to be on this live, and so I was asking because I don't talk to minors.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm 38 for sure.
Okay, awesome. Do you support Trump?
Well, no, but I would like to interact with. I have a very wild view on politics, and
It's
so
probably not
in
that wild.
general, even what's up?
It's probably not that wild.
Well, no. I mean, I support Trump to some extent, but in general, I think that there is a dead internet theory, 100% diametrically opposed to the existence of all humanity, and I think that in general, the left and the right have failed entirely, and there is no there is no circumspect that we can, or I'm sorry, circumspect that we can recover from it.
Okay. All right.
I have lots of life experience and opinions that could support it. Yeah.
I'm sure you have lots of something. I'm sure you have lots of something. I will say that much. I would put money on that you have lots of something. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move on to the next person. You have a wonderful day, okay?
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Think that's enough of that. We don't need to. And see, this is why I like when you guys send super chat. See, the super chat didn't come through, but this one. Am I the only one that's confused? No, Ryan, I am also confused. I am also confused. Okay. Hello, how are you today?
Hello?
Hello, how are you today? Hello, how are you today?
Hello. Hey.
Hi, how old are you? Hello, how are you today?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
19.
Where year were you born? Hello, how are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
All right, y'all. Please be at least 18 years old when you call on the live. Trust me, I do this like every day. You trying to act like you've hit puberty does not work. I promise you. Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Hello, how are you?
Retarded.
Hello,
Hello.
guys. Again, I like to have conversations here, but you guys let the kids take over. Hello.
Hi there.
You guys should work on raising your kids better first. Hello.
Hi,
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 22,
Awesome. What year were you born?
2002.
All right, that sounds about right. Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Like 50-50, I'd say.
You know, it is really funny. So I've been doing this for like a long time, right?
Okay.
And like it used to every single caller I took, like every single one was just like, hell yeah, brother, I love Trump. And now like the further we get into his presidency, people are always just like, well, you know, it's 50-50 or, you know, oh, like, you know, I'm not really sure. Like it's just, this is not a hit on you. I'm telling you, it's not a hit on you at all. It's just funny to hear how it's just like changed over time, right? Like how, like literally 6 months
Yeah,
ago, everybody that I
seeing
talked to was just like literally like showering themselves in Trump soap on drying themselves off in Trump flags. And now all of a sudden it's like, it's like 50-50 for like every person I talk to.
Yeah, I've noticed from your live stream. I've been watching it for a few days now, and
Yeah. So you see, it's pretty common,
yeah,
right?
and those, yeah,
I mean, that's not a bad thing to me. That makes me happy, right? But I just want to know, like, you know, you don't even have to answer it. That was just a statement I was making. You don't even need to. There's nothing
from
even
what
to
I've
really answer.
seen,
There.
and I'm really disappointed from these Trump supporters that are on your live.
You're disappointed in the Trump supporters, so am I.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's for a lot of reasons. But anywho, so why do you support Trump?
Well, a few different reasons. These past 4 years, it's been hard, and I think part of it was because of the immigration. It's because hold on. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, while he takes 1 second, I guess I'll throw this super chat up real quick since it just showed up. Just me, thank you for becoming a member. Oh no, this said you've been a member for 1 month. Thank you, Just Me. Just Me's been a member for 1 month. Hell yeah, dude. That's probably not too much longer than I've had memberships. I think you were my first one, actually. So thank you, Jesse, for being a membership for 1 month. I
Hey,
appreciate that.
okay, I'm back.
All right. So what were you saying?
All right, I wanted to say, so I'm from New York City, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you know, but during the past 4 years, a lot of those immigrants that have been coming in, they've been coming in masses to sanctuary cities like ours.
Yes, and why are they coming to sanctuary cities like yours?
I assume it's because they take good care of them, I guess, but
That'd be
the issue with
incorrect.
that is, why is that?
Oh, they're there because Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis put them on planes and buses and sent them to you.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, and they not something that they're like, like that's hidden. They brag about it. Right? So they take asylum seekers who are again legal migrants here, right? Who they get paid a ton of money to house and make sure that they're okay, right? And what they did is they put them on planes and buses and they sent them directly to New York for the specific reason of just trying to piss off New Yorkers, right? And they didn't send any of the money.
Piss off the mayor here.
Yeah, well, no one cares about Eric Adams, but more about the people of New York City, and they sent them there without any of the money that they get to actually house these migrants, and they sent them in the middle of winter, knowing that New York didn't have the ability to house them or feed them, right? And then they make it sound like somehow these migrants were like stepping across the border and just like being like, well, I know we could all the work here and it's a lot cheaper here right at the other end of the border. And all the people I know are right here, but we're going to keep going to New York. And I think we can both say that doesn't make much logical sense, right?
No, sir.
Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to tell you, so back around, I'd say around 2021 or 2022, it was very difficult for me to find a job, but I was able to land one. And I got to work with a few illegal immigrants, and they were great people. However, the thing is that my boss, how do I explain it? Okay, so he was underpaying basically all of us. I wasn't familiar with the laws at the time. And
he was paying you guys all what? Like under the table?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, you know what?
Under minimum wage.
My first job was also under the table, and I did not know it was wrong either. I was 15 years old, so I didn't know it was wrong either. So I'm not going to hate on that.
Yeah, I didn't know either. And the thing is, well, I tried to, talk to him about that, and he basically told me that he gets people coming in there weekly that just came into the country, that offer themselves up for, hey, like $7 an hour, $6 an hour, under the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said if I'm just not happy, that I could just leave.
Now, whose fault is that? Let me ask you that question. Is it the fault of the person who's coming over here trying to make the money to feed their families, or is it the fault of the business owner who's literally doing a crime, right? A literal crime by doing what he's doing and exploiting the other people's labor in order to make a dollar? So who's really to blame there?
I'd say, yeah, they take most of the blame, and even I take some of the blame for that as well.
No, you don't. The business owner takes the blame for that. That is their fault for committing a crime. Okay? Just like you weren't familiar with the fact that it was under the table was illegal. What makes you think that freaking, migrants that probably don't even speak English, if they speak English at all, right? That are new to this country, they're trying to feed their family. If you didn't know that was a law, then how do you expect them to?
Yeah. And another thing is that was actually a really common issue, at least in that area, because after he told me that, I was looking around for other jobs, and most of the businesses actually said the same thing. that they're paying under the table for, below minimum wage.
Yeah, and that's very wrong. I don't believe that the businesses should be doing that. I don't believe the businesses should be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't blame someone
But-
trying to feed their family.
Yeah, of course not. But at the same time, it's, what can I do about it?
Well, we can
You
pass.
got all these
We can put legislators in office that actually want to, make sure that the penalties are high for companies that actually do that. That would be the easiest way to do it.
Correct, yes. But at the same
Yeah.
time, since so many people were coming in, I don't think it's a good idea for that many people to come in at once, and it's especially in New York City that's already has a lot of people in it already.
I also don't agree that those people should have been in New York City. This is why it's disgusting that Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis are playing, with people's lives like that, that they're shipping people off to cities like New York in the middle of winter, right? Knowing there's not a place for them to stay and then forcing them onto their economy. I also agree that that's not right.
Yeah, we have a shelter system to take them, but I think it was only for around like a month or two. After that, they just kicked them out.
Right, because the shelter system there was built for the amount of migrants that normally come to New York, right? And then the way in which they do that. It was not built for the type of migrants that come across the southern border. The southern border is built for that.
Yeah. And also another thing, so after, I left that job, right? And I decided that I was going to do the food delivery apps. And I actually thank the Democrats for that, because they gave us a new legislation for minimum wage. Are you aware of that?
I'm familiar with a few, but which one are you talking? Which one's it? I think I'm more familiar with California's.
Well, it affects all of them. It affects all of them. It's, say, for Uber, DoorDash, all of those. That was actually done, that they passed it.
Yes, Democrats generally are the people that are for higher wages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can.
But the thing is that a big issue is it even got on the news as well, is that many people that do those deliveries aren't even legally allowed to work. Many people say, for myself, I could just rent my account out to someone illegally to someone for whatever reason just can't do Uber.
Sir, but again, that's illegal.
Yes, it is illegal.
That's illegal. So why are we talking, sir? Why are you again? The problem is not the migrants. The problem is the people that are exploiting their labor.
Yes, but at the same time, that many people that came in, if they didn't
How
come
many
in,
people?
it wouldn't be an issue in the first place.
How many people?
I wouldn't know off the top of my head, but I would assume into the hundreds of thousands.
Okay, so hundreds of thousands of people that weren't supposed to ever show up in New York City showed up because of Republicans, and because of that, you support Republicans?
No, I don't support Republicans on that. Like I told you.
But I asked you why you
on everything.
I asked you why you supported Trump, and you're literally talking about what literal Republicans that vote for and bow down to Trump, literal Trump cronies, Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott. You're talking about people that literally work, live, and breathe for Trump, literally sent them to you, and you're like, but you still voted for him.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that, but.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's just my problem. Like you're saying, if you have a problem with it, I have a problem with it too.
All right, that's all I just wanted to get out.
Hey, Kayla just sent me a $5 Venmo, and I really appreciate that, Kayla. But I did want to read this to you, okay? And this is really because this is really true, okay? She said, "Hey, guest, I never had to work so hard to defend a point I believe in. Just saying, you shouldn't have to break a sweat." Like, true story. If it you should not have to work this hard to defend a point like that you believe in, right? Like, if it doesn't make sense to you, then you can just change your point. You know?
Yeah, I mean, but that's really the main reason why I voted for him. See
That
if
makes
he can
sense. Do
try
you
and
still
fix
support
this
him for that?
issue. To what? To what exactly?
Do you still support his immigration policies?
I'm not familiar with all of them, but generally, yes.
Generally, yes. Like deporting U.S. citizens, deporting people on visas,
No, of course
ripping
not.
people out of
No.
immigration courts, ripping mothers away from children, deporting kids with
No.
cancer, things like that.
No, sir.
Okay. It sounds like you're on my side, man. I think you just need to read a little bit more.
I should, yeah. I mean, at first, I assumed that most of them were illegal, but from what I heard on your live stream, you say that they just applied for asylum.
Certain people did apply for asylum, but that doesn't mean that, like, sir, they're illegal. They're undocumented migrants, and then they're asylum seekers. Those are two different people.
And another thing, so is that I think we should have asylum, but I just don't think we should accept that many people in at once.
Yeah, again, that was under the Biden administration where that should have passed and where we would have limited asylum seeking in the United States. But again, Donald Trump blocked it.
You say that again?
The bills that Joe Biden tried to pass would have limited the amount of asylum seekers that came into this country, but Donald Trump blocked it.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. But anyways,
Has he fixed it himself at least?
no. Well, I mean, there's certain stuff in the big beautiful bill that will, I guess, help it. It'll hurt a lot of other things, but it'll help that.
But yeah, honestly, I don't think he's the ideal candidate, but based off, what I told you, I just decided to vote for him because of that.
All right. Well,
I don't really support him that much either, but like I told you.
all right, man. Well, I'm going to go move on to a Trump supporter, but I do really appreciate you, all right?
All right, thank you.
Yep. By the way, Trump just said he's sending more weapons and money to Ukraine, by the way, for all the Trump supporters out there. Just thought I'd let you know that. He just said he's sending more money and weapons to Ukraine, so just thought I'd throw that out there for you guys. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. How old are you?
I am 27.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Not really.
All right, man.
Not
Sorry,
really.
I'm looking for Trump supporters right now. I appreciate
hold
it.
on.
No. All right. Full Rusher, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, could we ask more about DACA with them today? Like how they would be cool with it if they had a way to design a pathway forward. They don't really want DACA here, Full Rusher. They don't really want DACA here. Okay. Again, every single time they are given an example of like, oh, if they had an open pathway forward, I would want them. Every time they do that, then Donald Trump just gets rid of people that have pathways forward, and then they are against it, right? So they don't really want DACA people here. They really don't want any freaking body that came from the southern border here, right? That's the whole point. That's why they voted for Trump. That's truly the matter. But thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that, Full Rusher. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna open these phone lines again. Hopefully, I don't have to do any like weird restarts or anything on YouTube today. I had to do one last night. I don't know why. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How old are you?
27.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
No,
Hello?
because it'd be foolish, right? Yeah, can you hear me?
No, I didn't hear anything you said. Why do you support Trump?
I said I support him, but not on everything, because that'd be foolish.
All right. Well, why do you support him?
I support him over a lot of the things that Biden did. I feel like Biden undid a lot of things that Obama did.
Like what?
I do support immigration is a big thing.
What did he undo that Obama did?
Obama's immigration policy is very similar to Trump's immigration policy.
How?
Very similar. It's almost like political warfare. Like just like, oh, Trump's going to do this, I'm going to undo that.
How is it similar?
How is that similar? Okay, so if you go back to a lot of Obama's policies, he was very, very tough on the border. he wanted to make sure that people came in the right way.
Yeah, so did Biden, and that's
So
why he
if
had
I
more
invite somebody into my
deportations.
house-
Hold on, sir. That's why he had more.
Oh, wait,
That's why.
hold on. Time out.
No,
Time
you
out.
time out.
Hold on.
That's
hold
why.
on.
No,
No, he
no,
didn't.
no. You hold
Wait,
on.
hold on. Time
no,
out.
no.
Wait,
hold on.
hold on.
Time out. Time out. Time out.
Dude.
Time out.
Bro.
No,
Okay.
you time
Wait, I
out.
wasn't done
No,
talking,
time
though.
out. Time out.
Okay, let me hear you
no.
say, and then let me know when I'm done. When I'm able to.
Yeah, I'll let you know when you can when you question. I think that you confused what
Okay, sure.
I asked you. Okay? I think you confused what I asked you, which is why I'm trying to ask you again. Okay? I'm not asking about rhetoric or what you think or your feelings or your opinion. Okay? You said that Trump's
No,
policy,
this is
sir.
legit. This is factual, dude.
Well, if it was so factual, then you would let me finish my sentence.
Dude,
It'd be very easy for you to respond.
This is look. I just feel like your hatred for Trump.
I understand that you're all in your
is,
feelings, okay? That's why you feel
blinding
a certain
you
way and
from-
you feel that you need to talk. But I promise you, it's a lot easier to answer the question if you actually understand it. Okay? So what I'm asking you is, sir, I'm going to try to answer this question one more time. And if you don't have the ability to let me ask the question, I will move on to
Go
the next
ahead,
person.
dude. Just answer.
I'm not
Answer,
answering
go ahead,
anything. I'm asking a question. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I am making it clear that what I'm asking you is not what you feel like or what your feelings are about Obama or Trump or anything like that. You said the policies were the same. So that means I want you to tell me what policy from Donald Trump was similar to the same policy under Obama and how they're similar. Thank you, Brian, for the subscription. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I guess he can't answer, so I guess I'll move on to the next guest. Have a wonderful day. He just left. Guess I got him starstruck. Because he couldn't handle it. That's unfortunate for him. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Oh, you're not old enough. You can go away. Hello, how are you?
Yo, what's up, man?
I don't know. What's up, man?
Bro, why are you wrong about everything, man?
I don't know. Why you all up in your feelings today, man?
Because, bro, Trump is like the best thing that ever happened to us.
Man,
Like,
if a
he's
politician
really
is the
doing
best thing that ever
everything
happened to
that
you,
we need.
if a
Yes.
politician is the best thing that's ever happened to you, I feel very sorry for you in your life.
What? Bro, I got my degree. Like,
Not
I
your
worked
degree.
crazy
Oh my
hours.
goodness, not your
I don't
degree.
have the, like,
Sir,
I don't have
do you support Trump?
a
Or
bunch
why
of
do you support
people
Trump?
taking jobs away. Why do I support Trump? The border. Counseling the war with Israel and Palestine.
He stopped that war?
Yes, there's a ceasefire, but Israel
A
keeps on
ceasefire
firing
isn't
bombs,
a
man.
ceasefire isn't a stop to a war.
Yeah, because Israel keeps on firing bombs at everybody and it's saying that, oh, they fired bombs at us. You guys fired the first bombs.
Then
Israel
he didn't
Fired
stop
all
the
those bombs
war.
at Iran first.
Then he didn't stop the war.
But he let Israel know that, hey, bro, look, I'm tired of you firing missiles and acting like it's not your fault.
What is your degree
You're
in?
being attacked. Psychology.
Is it from like Trump University or something?
Yeah, and like I love how Trump's bringing back the.
I don't
family
believe
together.
that. You don't
My
speak
girlfriend,
you don't speak like someone that actually has any education, so I don't believe you.
Okay, all right.
Like I truly don't believe you graduated high school.
Oh dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, how old are you? How old are you?
I'm 38 years old. How about yourself?
Okay, I'm 31. I'm 31.
Oh, so you lied
you're
about your
38.
age too?
So wait,
Because
how
you said
long
you were
have been a
27 a
Democrat
second
for?
ago.
No, I didn't.
Woo. Hello, how are you?
Nigger.
All right, we'll hit up a super chat real quick. Oh, we'll answer this call. Hello, how are you?
Doing well.
Awesome. How old are you?
This is the why do you support Trump, right?
It is. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 23 over here. I don't well, let's just go and say that I support Trump because of one reason. I support him because he supports my religious beliefs. So let's say that I can't go and say that yeah, I 23.
You hearing ghosts, bro? What the fuck just happened? Bro, dude's house is haunted, bro. Dude, I am so far in that dude's head that he's hearing my voice when I'm not speaking. Jay's on my feet. Jay's on my feet. Jay's on my feet. So get like me. Shit. 23? 23? Velvet, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Said numbers 5, this mofo. Dude, Velvet loves numbers 5. That is Velvet's number. That's his favorite Bible verse. Is numbers 5. He talks about it all the time. Number one favorite Bible verse. Nathaniel, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate you, brother. 20-year Marine here. Don't agree with all your stances, but appreciate how you're respectful and knowledgeable. Keep at it, man. I appreciate that, Nathaniel. I will get a little bit disrespectful every once in a while, but only when absolutely necessary. Only when absolutely. You're a Marine, sometimes you got to be a little disrespectful, right? Not everybody deserves respect, but you do. Thank you for your service, especially 20 years retiring. That's a big deal, man. I really appreciate that, and thank you for being here and for the support. That really means a lot to me. Also, there was another one that my super chats are like flashing in and out right now. So there was one other super chat that I can't see for some reason. So I'll have to come back to that one when once I can get it to show up. It's not showing up right now. All right, y'all, we're gonna move on. Open up the phone lines. Keep this thing going. Really appreciate y'all. Like I said before, if you guys would like to support, super chats are a great way to do it. I'll leave the Marine super chat up there for a second. Thank you for your service, brother. Appreciate you. So that's a great way to support, and I'll put them on the screen. We'll talk about them. Also, if you're on the TikTok side, I'm still working on my Rose Bears over here and trying to catch Ari on subs. So if you guys would like to support, those are great ways to do it. I really appreciate that. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
25.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I would say neutral.
All right. Well, I am looking for Trump supporters right now, but I do appreciate you, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Well, I voted for Trump. I voted for him twice.
All right. Well, at least you're moving in the right direction then. So
I don't know.
Cool.
I wouldn't.
All right. At least you're moving in the right direction. Dude, there's ghosts. There's ghosts in these walls. 23. Kayla, thank you so much for the $2 Venmo. It says that's some apple juice, and I don't pretend to be part and don't pretend to be part of my field. I would never. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
20. This is Dave. If you want a quick, fun train fact.
All right, a quick, fun train fact today. Send it. Let's go.
All right. So, the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western ran commuter services from Hoboken Station in New Jersey to various points in north of the northern region of New Jersey. In 1930, the railroad decided to electrify to cut down on smoke and steam in the cinders, the smoke and steam and dirtiness of the Hoboken terminal, to try and cut back some of that. I can't speak. To try and cut some of that down. So in 1930, like I say, they electrified. And guess how long the electric trains that they built in 1930 were in service for?
How long?
They were retired August 24th, 1984. They were the they were the oldest operating electric multiple units in North America by the 1980s.
Shoot, impressive,
let me
impressive.
See if I can. Oh yeah, these things saw the Great Depression, the Second World War, the Cold War, the 60s, the 70s, and were retired a month before Generation 1 of the Transformers came out. So they saw a lot of stuff during the service lives.
That's absolutely crazy.
I'll post a photo in your Discord if you want to.
How about this?
See it.
I'm gonna let
they're
you.
Pretty cool.
I have to step away. Give the crowd another like 30-second train fact. I'm gonna step away from my microphone. I want you to give the crowd another 30-second train fact.
All right, sweet. So another type of locomotive that ran out of Hoboken Terminal was the U-34CH. The U-34CH was a General Electric built freight locomotive that was technically converted to passenger work. It was converted from a U-36C, and all that was done to it was a head and power generator was put on the end of the prime mover. Those worked from 1971 until about 1994, outlasting the multiple units for about 10 years or so. The U-boats, as they were nicknamed, the U-34s, were interesting, and they were not fully painted into the New Jersey Transit's paint scheme. They retained their Erie Lackawanna blue paint scheme, aside from a handful of examples. The most notable being that the very first one built was wrecked in about 1973, repainted for the bicentennial from 1975, and then about the mid 70s or so, no, late 70s, it was repainted back into its original Erie Lackawanna paint scheme. However, they did not use the right diagrams, so the paint scheme was completely off. That locomotive served with the off paint scheme until it was retired. In 1994, New Jersey Transit, the owner of these locomotives, bought GP40s of various different heritage that they'd all rebuilt, and the U-boats were subsequently retired. There is a single U-boat surviving at a railroad museum in New Jersey, and they just got it running, which is pretty fun. And it made its way back to Hoboken Terminal with a Lackawanna multiple unit, I think last year, to commemorate the last run of the Wicker Liners and the last run of the U-34CHs.
That's what I'm talking about, Dave. Thank you so much for the train facts, as always. I really appreciate that. And for it wasn't that YouTube chat that said, wait, hold up, y'all have a train guy? You're damn right we have a train guy. You don't know what's coming in this live. Of course we have a train guy. This is Dave the Train Guy. Everybody give W's in the chat for Dave the Train Guy. Hell yeah, I appreciate you. Dave, thanks for coming up. I really appreciate you, man. You have a good one, all right?
You're welcome. You have a good stream, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye. That's Dave the Train Guy. Dave usually comes up somewhere in the middle of my live, and it's like a little intermission, and we just have a train guy. So y'all just jealous that you don't have a train guy. That's what it is. Y'all just jealous that y'all don't have a train guy. All right. y'all wish you had a train guy. Y'all are jealous. I get it. All right. Oh my goodness, Dave the Train Guy, y'all. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I found your YouTube channel, and I thought I'd talk.
Awesome. How old are you?
40.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do and I don't.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
I always supported the stance on removing criminal illegal aliens, but I will say I'm not a fan of what he's going overboard with.
All right. Yeah. Can you actually hold real quick? Sorry. I need to do something real quick, so I apologize that I forgot to. Rolly the Moly, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, I will chat with you. Oh, that's you? Hey, perfect.
That's me.
That was a great time. Thank you so much for the super chat. That was the one thing I was gonna do. Second thing I'm gonna do is, hey, everyone on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna shut down the YouTube stream. I have to restart it again. I don't know what's been going on with my YouTube chat lately, but it's being really weird, so I'm having to restart it halfway through. So please hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna shut it down for about 30 seconds. I'll be right back up with it, so make sure you guys come back, all right? See you guys in a second. I hate when it does this. Oh my goodness, it's so annoying.
That's technology, my friend.
Yeah, just YouTube seems to be being a pain in the butt to me lately, but that's okay. Just 2 days. Hopefully I'll recover after that.